Anyway, speaking of weak men, sign of the times. Hat tip to Megyn Kelly talking about the state of women. How this young lady totally changed her face. This picture from 10 years ago, she called it like a year ago, and now she has plastic surgery face looking thing. Maybe it was just makeup. I don't know. Don't really care. But yes, women are doing all kinds of kooky things to their faces and bodies and getting all caught up in things that don't matter. And it's happening to men too, and it's been happening since the boomers and older. Is Brian Wilson a boomer or is he older? I think he's older than a boomer. Because boomers aren't 81, are they? Brian Wilson gushing all over his late wife. Here's a tweet with pictures at the end of a thread from yesterday. Yesterday, Tuesday, the 30th of January, AD 2024. And it's a photograph, I guess, of his wife in her younger days, and then in her older days, and not that much older, but, younger middle-aged days or something like that. This sort of sandy blonde-haired gal, and Brian Wilson, sort of a little bit darker brown hair. At some points, he looked like he had pretty dark brown hair, but now, I don't know. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, talented songwriter. The Beach Boys. My grandpa liked the Beach Boys. My grandpa was kind of old to be a fan of the Beach Boys. His post reads, this is like at the end of a thread, but he says, how to take care of the person next to you without expecting anything in return. Hey, that's interesting. That's nice. How to find beauty in the darkest of places, and how to live life as your truest self with honesty and pride. We love you, Mom. Give Grandma a rose and Pa our love. Oh, I guess that was written by her children and Brian Wilson's children. It's a little confusing because Brian Wilson is older than a boomer, so I guess maybe he gave access to his children, his adult children, to post, because that sounds not like Brian Wilson, but his wife died. Okay, so go all the way up to the first post. My heart is broken. This is the one I took issue with. Sign of the times, right? And maybe this was happening even before the boomers and older than the boomers. My heart is broken. Melinda. Not Melinda Gates. Brian Wilson's wife, Melinda. Melinda Wilson, I presume. My beloved wife of 28 years. Just 28 years? Let's see, he's 81. He would have been in his 50s. Hey, I have time. My beloved wife of 28 years, passed away this morning. Our 5 children and I are just in tears. Hey, 5 children. Wow. So he had wife of 28 years. In 28 years, he had 5 children. Did he have children out of wedlock? But is it those literally blood children to both of them? They are just in tears. Listen to this, though. This is terrible. Don't do this, Brian Wilson. If you're listening to the Hake Report this morning, I love the older than the boomers and the boomers. We are lost. Melinda was more than my wife. She was my savior. I don't accept that, Brian Wilson. My savior. Listen to this. Even worse. Well, just as bad. She gave me the emotional security I needed to have a career. Emotional security? His career is well longer than 28 years ago, I'll have you know. His best stuff was Beach Boys, right? Beach Boys long predates 28 years ago. He came out with Beach Boys stuff in like the 60s and maybe 70s, right? I know he came out with Smile in the early 2000s, and that was supposed to be good. I have it. I don't really listen to it. Yeah, somebody says Danae says my dad is 75. He's a late boomer. Oh, so he's an older than a boomer. I mean, is on the old side of the boomers. Boomers are now in their 80s? It's true. But look at that. She was my savior. She gave me the emotional security I needed to have a career. And the last 28 years, which is from 50s to 80, from 50s to early 80s. I guess it's nice to have a career in your 50s through your early 80s. That's cool. Doing something right, maybe. Hey, he outlived her. Congrats, man. Hey. Normally the men die first, or males die first, and the women outlive. It's less common for men to outlive the women. But this is kind of simping. Brian Wilson, Jesus is your savior, or whoever. I don't know. God is your savior through Jesus. Not this woman. Emotional security. Some people have emotional security dogs. This man has an emotional security woman. They're both wrong. They're both wrong. Some people have dogs instead of children. Irish says boomer era, 1946 to 1965. I don't know math. Who is the savior, Jesus or God? Asks Falcon Ing, I mean. I think God is the savior through Jesus, because he saved us through Jesus. But they do say Jesus saves for short. Terrible. What else did he say? Did he say anything else? Because he had a whole thread with parts of it were his children. She encouraged me to make the music that was closest to my heart. She was my anchor. Sound like Obama. Is this an Obama voter? A whole lot of males. Go to number 2 there. She was my anchor. She was everything for us. Please say a prayer for her. Love and mercy, Brian. And then his children, I guess, post. Is with a heavy heart we let everyone know that our mom, Melinda K. Ledbetter Wilson, passed away peacefully this morning at home. A force of nature, one of the strongest women you could come by. She was not only a model, our father's savior. What? Their dad, Brian Wilson, let them know that she was it's terrible. You know, George W. Bush, I think, said that his wife, Laura Bush, I think, saved him from alcoholism. I say alcoholism, but it's making it kind of cute. So-called alcoholism. Because he got drunk a lot. She was a woman empowered by her spirit with a mission to better everyone she touched. That's maybe Joe Biden's mission. He's trying to better everyone he touches, and he likes to touch. Well, rest in peace, Brian Wilson's wife, late wife, Brian Wilson. Show his profile picture, number 4. Out of Beverly Hills. Hey, I wonder if I've seen this guy. Just didn't recognize him. Because I don't know who knows what Brian Wilson looks like. Look at him as a younger man. He was a little bit, he was a little bit chubby. For the times. I think he looks like Hake's face, almost. Except younger. I'm looking at the profile picture of Brian Wilson, the black and white photo of him. BrianWilson.com, followed by Chris Schlarb. Hey, shout out to Chris Schlarb. Look at this number 5. Look at him. He's boyish face. Almost looks like that young 20-year-old girl who totally changed her face, says Megyn Kelly. Look at this clever picture. It looks like he's holding a photograph, but he's holding a mirror. Clever Beach Boys, clever photographer. Look at this. 1966, Brian holding a mirror to the Beach Boys. And I guess the rest of them are the Beach Boys, I guess. Or am I wrong? But I think that's a mirror, like a tall mirror, but he's holding it sideways on his jeans on like a beach house looking thing. Porch. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's sitting on one of those lounge chairs. Cool. Wow. So I'm enthralled with this cleverness. What else? Here he is hanging out with the little, I'm laughing. These little schoolgirls, Girl Scouts, I mean. Look at these Girl Scouts. Some of them, their eyes are closed. One of them has like what are those braces thing that has a retainer thing that's like a wire that goes around her whole face? 1965, Brian outside a recording studio with a local Girl Scout troop promoting Beach Boys' single, which is a song, The Little Girl I Once Knew. These little girls. Back when people didn't think so negatively of seeing a man among children. People think filthy when they see stuff like that nowadays. People's minds are poisoned against men. And with the S word, mess. Garbage liked their stuff, Beach Boys stuff. Garbage, you guys remember Garbage? I don't really. I know that they're a 90s band or something. Shirley Manson, I guess, was this female singer of Garbage or something. And Brian Wilson gave her or them his blessing to use a hook from his, they have hooks. Their music is catchy. There's hooks or something. A vote of confidence to someone we hold in the highest regard was thrilling. Thrilling! And they even got compliments from that one guy, who's this guy? Phil Collins, number 9. There, Hassan. One forgets about the Beach Boys sometimes. The amount of great songs that Brian Wilson wrote. Sail On Sailor is such a fantastic groove, I don't know it, that I wrote Misunderstanding. It's my nod to the Beach Boys. Just a great melody and great feel. Phil Collins. Hey, Phil Collins is a legend. Another great musician guy. Was Beach Boys better than those lame-o Beatles? Don't know. But yeah, terrible. Well, anyway, Brian Wilson is a musician / was, and therefore liberal. But that's not good. Emotional security, savior, terrible. Thank you, Hassan. Just a sign of the times. So sick. Men worshiping women. Even Beach Boys stink. Where is all this going? Hake, I'm just reviewing the legendary music of a beta male legendary music. They both stink. You guys are saying the S word, the other S word. The point is, he was probably father to some boomers, maybe. And so you guys blame the boomers. They have beta fathers even older than the boomers who worship the women. They stayed married. Well, I don't know, 28 years. That doesn't sound that long for an 81-year-old. But it's been sick. It's sick. This false worship of women. It's been going on for many generations. Maybe kind of since Adam and Eve, in a sense, right? Because Adam listened to the woman. So it's been with us a long time, and it's gotten worse and even encouraged, and it's sick, and he's out there saying it. My Savior. It's his children repeating it.